Well, howdy, friends. Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters and the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and look who I found. It's my mom. So, as you all know, if you hang around in fly shops, dogs are as big a part of the shop sometimes as employees. I mean, you go out in any fly shop out west especially, and of course there's a Labrador, a hunting dog, in the shop and as a fixture in the shop. And Mad River Outfitters certainly had one of those in our early years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that dog,
Yep.
that dog, whose name was Bear, many of you may have heard us talk about him. Many of you watching may have even known Bear. But the first story goes is I remember you, of course, drive to Columbus as you did once a week to do the books. And I didn't tell you that I had gotten a dog. And this is a week after we opened Mad River Outfitters. The last thing I needed was a dog. I lived in an apartment where dogs weren't allowed. I had no money.
Right.
We just started this business, and I couldn't resist, but I got this beautiful, beautiful chocolate lab. And I remember you walked in, and Bear came walking out of the back, and you looked at me, and you said, "What is this?" And I said, "Oh, that's Bear." And I said, "Meet Bear. He's your newest grandson." At that point, he might have been your first grandson.
Definitely my first. Yes.
But that dog was, and I've had other dogs since, but no dog will ever come close to that animal.
No.
I mean,
He had a personality that just, as soon as you encountered Bear, his personality came across.
yeah,
He was gentle, and he was fun. And I remember when you used to play the harmonica,
oh my God.
and Bear
forgot about
would
that.
sit next to you and howl up a storm.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, we entertained many a campfire with
Yes.
with that parlor trick.
Yes.
There's just so many stories. People still come in the shop, and he's been gone since 2009. He died.
Oh, my.
He died in
Really?
February of 2009. He was just shy of 14 years old,
Yeah.
which is fairly old for a lab.
Right.
Really never had a health problem, much of anything other than, and we'll tell that story. But still, people come in the shop to this day. They remember Bear, and the first thing they say, he ate a box of fish hooks.
Yes.
And this was when he was about 7 or 8 months old. I was at home in my small apartment, and I noticed he wasn't acting right. And then by 2 a.m, he couldn't get up off the floor.
Right.
He couldn't lift his hind legs. About 6 a.m, I took him to a place called MedVet, which one of our great customers founded.
Mm-hmm.
They kept him, they x-rayed him, and they found, I forget what it was, 50-some fish hooks
Right.
were lodged in his stomach and his intestines.
Mm-hmm.
They had to open him up and take out all of those fish hooks. Some of them were lodged and they couldn't get, so we had to feed him cotton balls.
Right. I remember the cotton
that.
balls. Right.
And finally they passed, and that was no inexpensive undertaking. And I can remember, I can remember customers coming by and just giving me money.
Yes, they
500,
did.
1,000.
Yeah.
Walt McParland and
Oh my God.
Dick
yeah.
Shaw,
Yeah.
and all those people just stopped by. They heard about this through the grapevine, and this was such a dog, and he made such an impression on people that they just came by and gave me money to help pay for that surgery.
Well, and I know you got get well cards
Oh.
from all kinds of customers.
Oh my gosh.
And this was well before we were anywhere close to being on the internet.
Oh yeah.
So this was all a word of mouth from customer to customer, or from the shop to the customers.
Old fat. They probably
Right.
call each other on rotary phones.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, my.
another story, and you'll remember this one. Oh, good Lord. I ran over that dog with my boat trailer one time.
Yeah.
And at a young age, 4, 5, 6, something like that, and his scuffed up his chin. His head was stuck under the axle.
Oh.
Dad and I were fishing one time, and I stupidly left him chained up at the canoe livery. Well, we come back from 6 hours of fishing, there's no bear.
He was gone.
He was gone. I find him 2 hours later, 6 miles down the river, just followed along with some canoeists. It was just, I often think about that. That was absolutely the grace of God.
It was 6 miles down the
6 miles
river.
down the river. He just followed these
yeah.
canoeists. And then I called him. He was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about you. And he came in the back and hopped in the car. You and I lost him one night at
We
the
did.
apartment complex.
We did.
The second dungeon apartment I lived in.
Yes. Yes.
He just disappeared for an hour and a half. We were driving around hollering.
Yep.
And then 2 hours later, he just showed up. It was raining.
It was raining like crazy, and you and I were just beside ourselves because we couldn't find him. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there, or you were actually still out looking for him.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, and I heard a thump on the door. And oh God, it makes me cry now. I opened the door, and it was Bear.
Yeah. On a lighter note, how about the time Mad River Outfitters was next door to a Chinese restaurant?
Yep.
We kind of looked around and we said, hey, where's Bear? And then all of a sudden, Bear comes tearing in the back door of Mad River Outfitters. I mean, full bore, as much as a fat Labrador could rip.
Right.
And he had a full chicken in his mouth.
Right.
And then coming behind him, like in a Warner Brothers cartoon or something, a guy with a cleaver, and he's chasing after Bear. Bear had snuck out the back of Mad River Outfitters, snuck in the back of the Chinese restaurant, and stole a chicken.
We had screen doors on the back, and they had a screen door on the back, and he was just able to maneuver himself. The scent of chicken was way too much for him to ignore. So.
But he knew that he had done wrong.
Yeah.
And the guy was chasing him, and he ran up to the front of the store, and he's just chewing on that chicken.
Right. Right.
Unbelievable, but
He was one of a kind as far as dogs are concerned. As far as in my life, I know that. So,
oh yeah, no, no, I've had some great dogs since. I have a wonderful dog now who's very popular in the shop, Rogue.
Rogue, right?
Rogue has quite his own fan club, and he's a great dog. He's super friendly, super nice, but it's no offense, Rogie, but it just doesn't compare.
Personality is something you can't
No.
duplicate very often.
Nope.
And we haven't, and never with
Nothing will ever come close
With
in our
Bear.
lifetimes
Yeah.
as
Right.
to how that dog
Right.
was. And there's just so many other stories. And that dog traveled with me to, oh my gosh, floated the Pier Marquette many times with Charlie Weaver, hung out with Kelly Gallup. That dog was, he's actually in the Walker's Cay Chronicles. With Flip Pallet, the Carpin episode. Flip walks into the back room, and Bear's there, and Flip bends down and pets him,
Right.
and then I'm back there trying to fly.
Right.
Just such a part of Mad River Outfitters history, such a part of our lives. And even though he's been gone for 15, 16
Right.
years, there's hardly a day go by that I don't think about that.
Right.
About that dog.
Right.
And sure hope that I get to see him again.
Yeah, we miss you there.
Yep. 30 years of Mad River Outfitters history. We appreciate y'all watching. I'm sure you've seen some amazing pictures. For those of you that remember Bear, thanks for being a part of that. For those of you that are Rogue fans, thanks for being a part of that as well. But Judy's right. I miss you, Bear, and I hope that I get to see you again someday, buddy, because real special dog and real special part of Mad River Outfitters history. So thanks for being here. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't miss riveting content like this. Hit the like button. How could you not like a chocolate lab and my mother? And
Yeah, come on.
Come on, hit the like button for crying out loud. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more fly fishing content coming your way, including 30-year celebrations of Mad River Outfitters.